Hello, I am Dan Stapleton.
And I'm Dave Rudden.
And Dave, you reviewed Kalimba for us here.
Yep.
Not to be confused with Columbo. There's not just one more thing. This is the thing. So I guess it's a puzzle platformer.
Yeah, and most of it involves controlling two of the totem pieces simultaneously while avoiding obstacles and puzzles. And right now I'm facing a boss that's shooting out these different colored liquids. You can't touch the opposite liquid, I just did there.
That makes sense. All right.
But this is generally the core of the game, except not with bosses. But most stages will have pools of this liquid, and you'll have to determine, okay, I can't jump with this guy into it. I have to jump with the other guy.
So it's a very kind of a level design heavy game where it's all about these environmental puzzles. And you with a push a button, you can swap which one's on the bottom, which one's on the top.
Yeah, or switch their places, because at some points these two will be separated on the map.
So in a way, it's kind of like a Guitar Hero-ish kind of thing. Oh.
And here's an example of the anti-gravity, which I'm not too fond of.
Yeah, how does that work? So you can.
So now when I switch,
yeah,
now when I switch them, I also switch gravity.
Okay. That's kind of neat. Yeah,
this part is not too bad, but the very end of the level. So now we're in this thing. I can't touch the edges there, and when the gravity requires you to do things like this, it's a little bit more frustrating. Like there are some stages where there'll be those collectible little dots on the very edge of the black mass, which I can't touch at all. I'll die, and it just requires a different kind of timing that's not really anywhere else in the game, and kind of frustrating because they speed up very quickly the longer you're in changing gravity. So
one thing you said about this game is that the checkpoints were very forgiving, which a couple times you've died already. It seems to be very true. You haven't lost much progress.
Yeah, but something I've been going for a lot since I've completed the game is gold runs, which is you don't die at all and you collect every single collectible on the level. And when you're at the very end of one of those runs and anti-gravity is what kills you, it kind of gets on your nerves.
So it seems fairly consistent so far, but you said when you get near the edge of the screen, it's a problem?
Yeah, well, this is a very big map, but when you're doing it on a smaller map and you happen to touch the edge because gravity speeds up too quickly...
So the speed at which you move is inconsistent?
It escalates too fast, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things that looks like it's going to take some serious getting used to.
Yeah.
Doesn't always quite work the way you expect it. Oh.
Yeah.
But one of the things you were kind of underwhelmed with was the graphics and sound. And I can definitely see what you mean by the sound being underwhelming. It's a little bit grating.
Yeah, there's this one the narrator is trying to be kind of meta, and it works about 10% of the time. But I mean, the visuals aren't, that great. There's some cool effects, but
it's very minimalist, kind of understated, pixel art-ish. I guess vector art in this case, huh? But it's, I mean, very garish colors. Nothing terribly interesting there, I guess, so far. Although I did kind of like that boss design. It was neat.
So
that was more about the design of how you fight it than how it actually looked.
So the level that we played was that was an example of the characters very much working in tandem. They were parallel the entire time. This is a level that introduces a little bit of a unique twist on that formula.
Right. But I guess you got pushed back to the beginning here because of a bug that you ran into.
Yes. So I did complete the campaign, but I ran into a bug because I switched apps at some point, and apparently that caused all of my progress in this one play session to be erased. Which is kind of a bummer because there were some unlockables you were talking about that sounded pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, like the modes that I've unlocked after completing the campaign it unlocks this hardcore mode where you have a limited number of lives. As you saw, I died quite a few times against that boss. You get 3 if you finish a level perfectly, and you get 1 if you just finish a level, I think, with a certain amount of deaths. And yeah, the co-op, which we'll get into a little bit, it requires a different kind of like co-op. Sorry, it requires a different kind of communication than I've had to deal with in most co-op games. Mainly, I get angry way faster.
It reminds me a little bit of Braid in like that, you know, because you're moving both of your guys at once. You try and use the level environment to get them stuck.
Yeah.
And then try and manipulate yourself around them in that way. I guess also the swapper is a good example of that.
Yeah.
So it's not the most original of mechanics, but it seems like a good spin on them.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, it's a fairly clever level design here.
What I...
Now that those fluids don't actually, do you ever get to manipulate them at all? Like,
no.
No.
Dang it.
But yeah, it's really not punishing you much for losing. Is
I mean, in a case like this, like I know I made that mistake, but like when it's the physics just kind of throwing me a curveball, that kind of. Let's see, how does this work? I think I can just.
It's got to bounce them over. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm kind of, you know, maybe I'm just getting old, but I kind of prefer that, you know, when I die, I don't want to be sent back to the beginning of a level. You know, the repetition is what bores me, not the challenge. You know, having to get through a bunch of stuff that I've already beaten, just to get to something that I haven't beaten yet.
Nuts. See, I don't think I'm supposed to be separated at this point because I'm. Oh wait, actually, I can.
Okay. I think he has to walk through the. No, okay, maybe not. That's one way to do it. So the unlockable modes were like, it took you like 5 hours to get through the single player, right?
Yeah.
But the unlockable stuff seems like it's gonna have more of a life to it.
Oh yeah, like co-op it kind of introduces a new take on the formula. There's no swapping, so you have to basically work very closely with a partner to figure out all these different solutions. And there's also one where you control basically 2 pairs, but with 1 controller, which is like one of my favorite old school PS2 games. It's weird saying old school PS2 game, but Cookies and Cream, which was a game that you're supposed to play with 2 people, but you can play by yourself, controlling 2 pairs with 1 controller. Oh boy.
Don't screw up, Dave. Don't screw up.
I'm not going for the gold this time. I'm just gonna go through this maze. Oh, okay.
There have been quite a few of these games where you control 2 characters at once. I think Twine recently, and Ib and Ob, I believe, is also similar to take on this formula. So it's a cool one to see, you know, different iterations on.
Oh, they gotta be together.
It does have some neat particle effects going for it, at least. It's got the kind of Native American art style, but a little bit of flash. And you get different power-ups that will make your guys bigger or smaller or hold still.
So there's a later. The third world that you go through introduces this power that makes one of the characters stationary but floating in the air. So you use that one as a platform to get to new areas.
And yeah, one of the things that impressed you about the level design was the variety of it and how they kept changing it up, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, when a platformer runs out of ideas, you know it's kind of over. But this one keeps it going the whole time, huh?
Yep.
There's the black stuff nobody can touch.
Okay. Oop. That's a rare case of, I think, a checkpoint being a little bit too far back.
Well, even so, like
Yeah,
that wasn't too bad.
Yeah. And that's more me remembering this being a little bit tricky, and then I'm like, oh wait, all this is easy. All right. So do you want to try
Yeah,
a little bit of a
co-op.
co-op level?
Show how that works.
So you've seen how this works, but basically the switching, but like pressing X usually switches between the two totem pieces. That's not going to work on. That's not a part of co-op.
Mm-hmm.
So just press A to join.
Alright.
And choose me.
Alright.
And you see, you get a log if you do terribly on a level, and it really messes up the look of your totem. So
You can't always do two things at once. So get a friend to do one of them.
That's a really cool bear.
yeah, very tone lokish. Sorry.
Oh,
So, yeah.
we both got our
Yeah.
totems. Alright.
And
So
ironically, I died first. Sorry about that. All right, so I've got to jump on this phase. That'll open up something for you.
can I
Watch out
make
for that
my-
dude.
How do I make my buddy jump here?
A, and you give a double jump
Oh,
where you
okay.
can create a little bit of space between your guys.
Gotcha.
So, hang on that, and that'll do something. Oh. Oh, I don't have to be in there. All right. There we go.
Yeah, it's always cool when when like with something like Portal 2 where the mechanics are completely different, like the level designs are completely different.
Oh yeah.
For a co-op experience as opposed to the single player. Oh,
Did I just do something there with my vase that killed you? Or
Nope.
was it- I was.
I tried to jump over this guy, it did not work. So you gotta hurry.
Oh,
There we go. Oh, what happened there?
I dropped the door on you.
Oh, okay.
See, this is
This is the rage you were talking about.
Yes. If we weren't on video, I would totally not fault you for yelling at me.
I will show my best restraint here.
All right, so when
Oh,
you
yeah,
jump
sure.
off that, I'll get off
Okay,
this.
1, 2, 3. There we go.
So imagine yours is going to do the same thing. Yep. Oh. All right, 1, 2. Oh.
Oh, sorry. Don't yell at me.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Can we separate our characters here?
Yeah, I mean we can mix them together. We shouldn't
Oh.
right now because you have to jump through that.
Oh, okay, I see. Gotcha.
And what did that do? Change the color? Oh, I guess there's something on the other side. Yes. Ah.
Yeah, so this game, were you counting the co-op? Oh, you done killed me.
Sorry.
Were you counting the co-op in the 5 to 7 hours? Because it seems like this.
I haven't
completely
completed the co-op, but I've put like about an hour and a half into it, and
different. But it's all different content.
oh yeah.
Interesting.
Oh.
My fate is in your hands. Mostly.
I'm like your gondolier right now.
Yay! All right.
There are a lot of weird fart noises in this game too.
And a lot of cursing.
Oh, sorry.
I should probably watch what your timing's like down there. All right. Go, go, go. All right.
Oh.
Oh, eat. All right. All right.
Oop.
Nope. All right, so I guess I'm gonna have to. Oh, I bet this is.
Separate. Yeah, use that thing
so,
to create some
here
separation.
we go. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Neato. Okay, so I gotta get. Oh, interesting. Oh.
And there's some puzzles that actually require we separate to that degree, and the liquid separates. That can be a little bit more maddening, but
gotta get the hang of how to order yourself.
Yeah.
So you're giving this game a 7.4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem like it's got some good ideas in there.
Some slight frustration here and there. Some in the game, some having to do with the bugs that hopefully aren't are patched out somewhat early.
Yeah.
But
not today, which is when it's out, but soon. But all right, Dave. Well, thanks a lot for showing it off. That was actually pretty fun. I might have to check this out myself. It seems like a game I could play with my wife.
Yes.
All right.
Cool.
But yeah, for more on Kalimba, not Columbo, well, Columbo too, stick with IGN.